Erin stood in the street outside a large, dirty brick building that housed too many people in small rooms decorated with mold-infested etchings on crumbling pus-green walls. Human beings should not live like this. And tonight, some were not. Living, that is. She felt something on her shoes and cast her gaze downward. The street where she stood was beginning to flood. The nearby streetlight flickered in the night, and she suddenly realized she was standing in blood. Dark, thick, gooey. She wanted to run, but her feet were stuck. She couldn't move. "Erin!" someone yelled. "Erin!" She looked up and saw her partner, Scott. He stood several yards away. She could barely make him out through a strange fog that swirled around them, but it was obvious he was struggling. He held his arms out toward her. "Erin, save me! You're my partner. You're supposed to have my back." She watched in horror as the same crimson flood that held her fast swept him away. She fought as hard as she could to reach him, but it was impossible. "Scott!" she called out to him. "Scott!" And then he was gone. Erin sat up in bed, sobbing, her face wet with tears and her sheets soaked with sweat. She swung her legs over the side of the bed and put her face in her hands. When would these nightmares end? Would she ever heal from that night? She looked at the clock next to her bed. It read 3:33 a.m. Again. Why did she wake up so many nights at the same time? It was eerie. Gave her the shivers. She got out of bed and walked over to her closet. After sliding the door open, she glanced up at the locked box on the top shelf. Her gun. She hadn't touched it since. Every morning when she woke up, her feet led her to the closet as if they had a mind of their own. Why? She was drawn to the gun and yet repelled by it. It wasn't the one she'd used that night. She'd turned that one in, along with her badge, when she quit the force. Erin stared at the box as the clock on her nightstand ticked loudly in the quiet room. It was as if the sound was a reminder that her life was slowly ticking away. She shook her head and closed the closet door. Then she made her way to the kitchen. Maybe a cup of chamomile tea would help. Her doctor had prescribed sleeping pills, but they remained untouched on her nightstand. She was afraid to open the bottle. Afraid she... "Stop it," she said to herself as she flipped the kitchen light on. Erin finished brewing her tea and thought about going back to bed, but her sheets were still damp, and she didn't feel like changing them. Even if she did, she wasn't sure she had any clean ones. She hadn't done laundry for a while.